Hello, guys, and welcome to this week's episode of the Limitless Landscapers Podcast. I'm Paula, your host, and today I'm talking about how you're feeling about 2024. Now we are, 3 weeks in, and a little bit about intention setting for the rest of the year. So, if this sounds like something you want to listen to, let's go to the show.
As the co-founders of the Landscaper Circle, we help you get more money, time and freedom to become limitless through our experiences as fellow landscapers and our tried and tested methods. If you want help with your marketing, managing or growing your business, you've definitely come to the right place. If you're a landscaper, garden designer or supplier to the industry, then hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. Now, let's get back to the show.
Hello, guys. How are you? Is this week's Limitless Landscapers podcast episode? I'm Paula. I have no idea why I'm tripping over my words this afternoon, but I am. I also have, if you're watching this on YouTube, no brick wall behind me today. That is because kids are doing homework. They've been banished to another room in the house. Luckily, a brand newly painted wall is behind me. And yeah, so I thought I better get this episode out and ready to go for tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow is Wednesday. And basically wanted to come and talk to you about how you're feeling about the year now we're 3 weeks in, because I know that at this point, certainly for me as well, it can often feel a bit flat, a bit like nothing is happening very quickly. And maybe even you've had some bad news or something that hasn't gone well, or you're struggling with the weather, as probably most of us have been impacted by it. But I wanted to share with you something that I'm working through with my coach, and it's all about setting some intentions for 2024. And it's a bit like planning, but not in your usual sense. It's more about focusing on the intentions and the lessons, and really about reflecting back on 2023. So there's a couple of steps to it. The first one is to reflect on 2023 and reflect on three areas. Number one, what lessons did you learn from last year? Now, these could be anything. For me, I learned some very valuable lessons about trusting people, about not jumping in straight away, again, on the trust element here, not jumping in straight away without doing some due diligence. What other lessons did I learn? There's probably many. I'm not expecting you to sit here and work them out straight away. It will take some time to sit with and think about. But yeah, what lessons did you learn last year? And it feels, even to me when I'm doing this, that it feels like it was so long ago. And yet it was only 3 weeks ago. We were still in 2023, which completely blows my mind. But yeah, what lessons did you learn that you could take forward into 2024? Also, things that you are leaving behind in 2023. So, what are you leaving behind? Now, one example, what I'm going to share with you for me is that I am leaving behind saying yes to everything. So, as most of you will know, I have pretty much started my bodybuilding journey, and we are on the way into a hard prep. And I've booked my first competition on 22nd September this year. And I have got a long way to go to being stage ready in many respects. However, I know that this is going to be a difficult time when I'm in the whole prep part of preparing for this competition. I'm not going to be able to say yes to everything. And what I found myself doing last year was saying yes to things that I didn't want to do just to make other people happy, just so that I didn't come across as out of order. And these are all sorts of things, from meeting people that potentially you don't want to bother meeting, saying that you'll have people over and entertain them, even though you don't feel like entertaining. Maybe it's, oh yeah, you'll go to the gym with someone when actually you prefer to train on by yourself. These are just like petty little things, but you've got to apply that to your whole life, including your business. So don't say yes to things you don't truly want to do, and be okay with that. So that's what I'm leaving behind, the yes person, the person that acquiesces to people's needs because I want to be nice. I want that sort of thing. I like to do a bit of people pleasing in a way, which many people won't think that of me, I don't think. But yeah, slightly that where you change things just to please others. None of that is happening this year in 2024 because I know that this prep is going to be a challenge. So I need to prepare myself for that. And then the third thing in this part of reflection is what are you going to leverage from 2023 going into 2024? That's a hard one, really. I think I'm going to leverage the fact that I'm staying sober. Yesterday, I hit my 12-month milestone. Yay, go me, of not touching alcohol. Now, the most interesting part of that is that in not touching alcohol for the last 12 months, I've had to look at my own behavior and sit with my own self and have all of the feelings that people generally will crush under alcohol, under the influence of alcohol, or they won't address certain things. They'll just choose to mask things using alcohol. And yeah, I'm going to leverage that going into 2024. I don't intend to drink for the rest of 2024, if not ever again. And I intend to use that to my advantage to become a better person, to be able to better handle my own self, my own feelings, my own emotions, and dealing and coping with challenges that crop up along the way without turning to alcohol as a crutch or just a thing that you do if you're celebrating or if you're upset or if you're happy, sad, frustrated. I certainly used to turn to it where I could. Like most of us say, we deserve it. Well, I'm learning to live with the fact that you don't need it. There's not one positive thing that comes from having alcohol in your life. And I further intend to leverage that attitude and that clarity of mind into 2024. So that's something that I'm leveraging. The second step of this intention setting, and this is, I call it intention setting, but it also goes hand in hand with goal setting for your business. And like I said in one of my previous podcasts, if you haven't planned yet, don't worry. I'm going to let you into a little secret. Me and Mike haven't found the time to sit down and plan anything because we have just been wall to wall busy with the business, with social life, with family events. So we've actually scheduled our planning day for this Friday. And that's to plan the year and beyond. That's to sit down with the other managers to get their input on it and to further plan the business with everybody's input. So it doesn't matter if you haven't already done it. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is even if you have done it, it's a good thing to do for your own personal reflection and intention setting, but it's also really good to do this in looking at your business as well, particularly if you're like me, you haven't found the time yet. Like I said in my previous podcast, it doesn't matter when you do it, as long as you do it. Don't get all stressed out about it and hung up on that. So the second part of it, so I took you through the first part, which is all about reflecting on 2023. The second part is looking ahead to this year, so 2024. And there's 4 things that you need to look on this, and that is, what do you want? So what do you want from life and business? Now, one of my definite wants is I want to win my competition in September. That's just one want. I also want to grow the teams in my business to enable us to service more clients. I want to attract more quality leads. There's lots of wants. You could literally have lots and lots of wants on your list. Number 2 is equally as important. What is your why? Why do you want all this? So for me, why do I want to win my competition in September? Well, if for anyone that doesn't know me, I don't believe in this ethos that everyone's a winner when you compete. I'm all for, if I'm going to enter a competition, I'm in it to win it. I don't do it for second, third, fourth places. I don't do it just for the joy of competing. I do something to win. So therefore it's a challenge, and therefore I want that challenge for myself. I really want to find out what I can do with my physique, if I can cope with it on a mindset basis, and if this is another opportunity for me to be more in the fitness world. There's many reasons why I want to win this first competition on the 22nd of September. Why do I want to grow my teams? Well, I would like to build my company and eventually for it to be able to run itself without me there. I'm not saying that's a this year thing, but I need to get the right people in place. And we've started doing that. So that's why I want to grow the teams, because I need people there so that we're not there, so that we're not needed there. And yeah, it's just, you need to think about your why, what's truly, not just because, well, they're doing it, so I should. What truly is your why? Now, my reason behind why I don't want to be the business to be reliant on me is because I want to be able to travel as the children grow. I want to be able to take holidays, traveling. We're planning to travel to Thailand in December for 3 weeks. That'll be the longest period we'll have been out of the business. We're testing it during the time we're going to have 2 weeks closed down, so it shouldn't impact too badly. But I'd like to do more of that. I would like to be able to run the business remotely anywhere in the world so that I am able to travel. That's just one of my whys. So think about, for you, what is the reason why? Why do you want to do X, Y, and Z in your business? What do you want your personal life to look like, and why? Again, apply all of this to your personal and your business, not just your business, please. Also, what is something scary that you are being drawn to? So for me, it is the challenge of standing on stage. That is super scary for me. I do not like being the center of attention. I do not like parading myself around in a bikini. I am very self-conscious. So to be able to A, stand up there confidently, to B, execute the poses correctly, to feel confident in myself and my physique, that I'm born to be on that stage and I'm meant to be there, it's a huge challenge. It's very scary for me, and it actually makes me feel quite anxious. So what is it for you? What is that scary thing for you? It might be that you want to put a project in for an award, but you're scared that it's not up to standard. Well, go for it. Let's work on this. Or if you don't think it's to standard, then let's work on a project, or get a project in the diary that you can make sure would definitely be quality enough, higher quality enough to put in for an award once you've completed it. It might be that you want to stand on stage and talk to people. That's a big scary thing. It could be anything. What is scaring you that keeps coming up, but you're not doing it, that your ego is telling you not to do? Your brain's trying to keep you safe, because that thing that's making you scared is something that's meant to be happening in your life in order to take you to the next level of yourself and potentially business or opportunities, you don't know. And finally, what is the energy you are prepared to embody, or you must have, to achieve this? Now, for me, I need to embody the energy of confidence. I just need to go into this thinking or acting as though I've already won. I need to be that person I need to be that pure athlete. I need to see myself as that and have that energy around me. You might think it's a bit woo, but everything is energy. I've talked about this in the podcast multiple times. It's all right taking the action, but if the energy behind the action is poor, negative, not in alignment, then whatever action you're taking is probably not going to bring anything back to you. There's something to be said about manifestation, and manifestation is based on energy, and energy is everything. We are all made up of energy. So what you put out, you get back. So you need to think about the energy you bring to the table for all of these things. Now, to do this, you can feel free to journal on all of these things as you start thinking about these questions that I've asked. You can literally just voice note yourself to keep a record. You could type it up, whatever you want to do. But I absolutely urge you to do this, to start getting in touch with your why mainly, because we all need to make sure that we know what our why is. And thirdly, not just the energy part is very important, but also the reflection part, because often we're in 2024 and everyone's forgotten about 2023 already. And I expect you've learnt many more lessons than you remember, but it will take some thinking about, it will take some quiet time moments to go back over that. I expect you'll think about what you want to leverage. Thinking about that's a big question. So have a quiet think about what you can leverage from last year. And finally, in conversation with good old Charlotte, she asked me what my word was for the year. Now, I don't usually get into this. It's something that other people tend to do and I know about, but she had set herself a word for the year, and she asked me what mine was. And I said, you know what? I think it's winning. And I don't just mean winning the competition, but the feeling of winning at life. So I want to feel this year as if I'm winning in every aspect of life. I want to feel like I am winning at life. So whether that be winning the bodybuilding competition, whether that be going traveling with the freedom and fun that I get to do with my family, I don't know. But essentially, I'm using the word winning. So I'm asking you, what's yours? I'd love to know. If you've listened to this podcast and you want any extra help with the intention setting exercise that I've discussed at length, then get in touch with me, Paula at thelandscaperscoach.co.uk. Please drop me a message if you've listened to this and A, you've got any questions, or B, you just want to share your word. Because if you do, that would be fantastic, and we can have a conversation around that. I'm just truly intrigued with how other people are setting themselves up for this year and setting their attention. So please do get in touch, DM me on Instagram at the Landscapers Coach. And yeah, if you need any help with your business going forward in 2024, I have got 3 more spaces for clients that I'm looking to take on this year. So if one of them sounds like you, do get in touch. We can have a conversation, see if we suit each other and what you need, etc. And yeah, take it from there. So that's this week's episode. Next week, I'll be back with the brick wall. But for now, that's me. I'm Paula, the Landscapers Coach, and I'll see you next week on the Limitless Landscapers Podcast. See you later.